Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spiral Offcast. My name is Danny.
And my name is Chris.
Welcome on in. This is episode 8
That's
of
right.
the Spiral Offcast.
Yes. In case you're new here, the Spiral Offcast, we talk about all anime, video games, and other things that we
Everything in
find
between.
interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, so, um,
Welcome if you're new.
yes, and as we said, this is number 8, and today we're going to specifically focus on the glory that was the PlayStation 5 release date reveal, along with all of the other goodies.
Yes.
Um,
Because we had a very not negative podcast, but we definitely had not as great vibes a couple podcasts ago about Nintendo. So we're gonna bring it back with the positive vibes. Talk about stuff we do like.
Yes, although there were some good points. Nintendo has brought out the salt a little bit,
Yeah.
but today we're not here to talk about
We're not talking
Nintendo.
about salt. We're talking about sugar.
That's right,
Sugar that PlayStation has brought us.
right, and
Sorry, Microsoft fans. Much love for you, but
rip.
have fun with Minecraft though.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
coming. Is that a launch title? Minecraft. That's probably a launch title.
it's always a launch
It's
title.
probably
If it can run on a phone, it can run on every. It's gonna run on every Xbox forever.
4K.
Ray tracing.
Yeah. All right.
But no,
So
we're gonna hear talk about the awesome PlayStation 5,
yes.
and the juicy games they showed off.
Yes, and this is about the most recent PlayStation stream. This was as of this recording, what, like a week ago?
It was about a week ago. Yeah.
Wait, so what is today? Yes. It was
It
okay.
was within a week
About
ago.
yeah, so it was about maybe 5 days ago, I think. I remember this because I watched the stream with my girlfriend. I was up at her house and literally I she was working at home and then she came up and she had finished and she's like, "All right, let's watch the PlayStation stream." And I was like, "Yes." And so I pulled out my computer and we watched it
She was
together.
ready.
Oh yeah, so she wanted to. Yeah.
And and yeah,
So
so
so about 5 days ago, so as of this recording.
exactly. And basically what we're gonna cover is basically all the cool stuff that we saw in the stream. Everything they
Yeah,
showed off.
talking about this stream, maybe a couple things here and there from the last stream, but mainly focused on this big one that just came out for the
Yes.
PlayStation 5.
And we're gonna kind of go like piece by piece just to like make sure we
Just to
cover
really,
everything.
yeah,
And give some things the just due of focus and what they
yeah.
deserve.
Um,
So obviously we're gonna start with the hot one that everybody has been psyched about. And I mean, there's a lot of things to be psyched about, but this one in
yes.
particular, Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
I am so fucking hyped. I'm so happy. I think we talked about this in the Spider-Man playthrough.
We did, yeah.
I am so happy that they came out with a game for Miles. Like, Chris, you don't know. You don't even know what happens throughout the rest of the game with Spider-Man. This is why we have to keep playing Spider-Man
I know.
because you don't even know.
Put a like on the video and comment below if we should continue Spider-Man.
We probably still will, but please do.
And let us know that somebody's listening.
Exactly.
Um,
But no, the first game was such a wonderful game, but also did a fantastic job at setting up Miles as a character, setting him up to eventually become his own Spider-Man, which is what really caught me off guard when they announced this game like a couple months ago, because I didn't think they were just gonna go, oh no, here he is, here's his own game, like
yeah.
yo, and oh, I'm so happy they did. But they released a good chunk of gameplay and a good chunk of like kind of setting up what is gonna happen with this game.
Yeah, and like the game itself is supposed to have like 20 hours roughly of gameplay.
Mhm.
And that's just like core gameplay. That's not including like going and messing around or
In the world and everything.
replaying and how much of that they're really going to include.
Right.
Which I'd imagine they'd include some because that was like one of the big things of Spider-Man.
I
Is,
would imagine so.
like it's more telling Miles' story, but all the side stuff I feel like would still be there.
At least some of it, maybe not on maybe not on the exact scale as the first game, but I think still like
Well, I mean, more like the random crimes and the
yeah.
car chases and stuff
Well,
like
I
that.
would. Oh my god, I would love to do the random like crimes and everything. Like, I would love to do that with Miles's powers. Like, that's gonna have to be something. Like, you can't just have me only play the story missions. Like, no, no, no. We gotta take it for a test run.
I know, and so we'll crack into the gameplay demo they showed off, which was a section of the game that takes place during his mother's election rally.
Yes, so it's his mother's election rally. This is, for the record, they have said that this story takes place 1 year after the events of the first Spider-Man game. Um, which already raises questions. Like, it's like, wow, that a bit of a jump, but all right. But yes, it takes place during this election rally for his mom. I don't remember what she was running for, if it was like a city hall, something like that.
I think it was for mayor. It was for
Yeah,
mayor
I think it was.
or city hall. Something that she's running for some sort of office.
Yeah.
And basically the whole thing gets interrupted.
Yes. It gets interrupted by a bunch of bad guys.
That's right, a classic bad guys.
Yes.
And then basically the gameplay migrates over to the bridge.
This big old bridge.
And
Somehow, it doesn't matter if it's Miles or if it's Peter Parker. There's always a bridge thing in
there's
Spider-Man.
always a bridge.
It's always the bridges.
That's the coolest thing. And basically what has is everything just starts going to hell on the bridge.
Yeah.
Like there's like a transport truck
Hmm.
that was crossing, and then it was attempted to be hijacked by this like goon squad that just like showed up and started like
Goon Squad represent.
and just started to like just wreck everything. And Miles is over here just trying to keep this shit together.
Seriously.
Like he's trying to save people, like cars are being flung and crushed.
Yeah.
And whoever these bad guys are, just they have like crazy super technology and like super
Yeah,
abilities.
this definitely caught me off guard for a second, just because like going off of the first one, I thought it was going to be a very like either a recognizable like Spider-Man villain, like classic Spider-Man villain, or just some like bad guys, like prisoners or whatever. But these guys were like suited up. Like, it reminded me of the Silver Sable people from Spider-Man,
Mm, like special
the special
operations.
operations, but like, no, these guys are pretty like jacked up, and
They
like
are
they got some gear and
yeah, they have like this technology that like forms around them.
mhm.
Like one of the obviously in the gameplay demo, uh they showed like their fists are like covered in this technology that like moves kind of like Iron Man's nanites from the Infinity War movie.
Yeah.
Kind of
Oh yeah, like
the way it like
it
folds
forms
over their
around them.
arms,
Yeah.
and then they have it's basically like these super punches and super movement, and it's
Right.
crazy.
No, it
Um,
is.
and then so this is all happening because they're trying to hijack this truck,
Yeah.
and Miles is just there swinging around the bridge,
He's
trying to
swinging
keep
around,
everything from falling
saving
apart.
people. He does once again a very iconic Spider-Man thing. The bridge is like falling apart and he like webs it all and is like holding it all together.
Yeah, the bridge is
Very a la Spider-Man Homecoming and whatever other Spider-Man thing has done that pose.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
Remember
2.
when he stopped the train?
Okay, but that was a trade. I meant like some like two things being pieced together and trying to bring them back together. You know, like Homecoming did with the
Well,
ship.
but
But no, I know what you mean. I
no,
was thinking the train, but I was like, the train wasn't falling apart though.
yeah, but he had the webs on either side,
Yeah.
using his strength to like pull them to stop the thing.
Right.
Basically, Spider-Man stuff happening,
Yeah.
and it was crazy because it's this giant concrete bridge that he's just webbed together, and he's just using strength just to get it close enough in the gap to let people jump over it.
Meanwhile, Miles has only been doing Spider-Man stuff for at most a year, and I don't. With the way that without spoiling how the one ended, I wouldn't. I would he didn't immediately get the suit or anything
he's
at
made a
the
lot
end.
of progress.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, whoa, like he's just doing bridges and whatnot, and it's like he's
Doing
only been
bridges.
like seriously and all this stuff. Like, damn.
And it's cool, like early in the demo, they make references to him kind of going back to like mixing music and stuff, which is
Yeah.
like, totally his thing.
Mhm.
Um, and it was a cool aspect of like Into the Spider Verse,
Oh no,
like the whole
man,
beginning of it.
yes. Oh,
Um, that's a
don't
that's
even
a
get me
whole.
started on Into Spider Verse. We
Um,
gotta. I could spiral off forever on that one. Um,
but yeah, so this gameplay, then it showed the combat after like the cinematic
yes,
disaster of the bridge.
yes.
Um, and wow, they gave Miles so many good things
Hmm.
that like it feels like the first Spider-Man game,
Yeah,
but it's like amped up more.
which is like how was that
I
possible?
I don't know how they would have thought of it, but they did. Like they gave him like these crazy energy like attacks, sort of.
Well, I mean that's the kind of powers that he has. Like
Yeah,
he has like electricity in his fist. It's like a I think he called it um what did he call it? It was something like a venom charge, not venom, but like that's what he called it, something like that. But yeah, he was using that all a bunch in the gameplay, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh shit.
yeah, and he was bouncing from enemy to enemy in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and then the combos were just so cool. It was like everything you wanted it to stay from the first Spider-Man, but then they just did more with it.
I know,
It was
which is really good. I'm really glad
it was
that they
all I
didn't
could have
touch.
asked for, really.
Honestly, as long
Like,
as they kept the combat the way it was, if and add a little bit, like that's all I could have wanted, and I'm so happy. I'm so
yeah,
happy that it
and we
was
don't
like
even know if they're gonna give him gadgets or if he's gonna have like a skill tree. I mean, I would assume so, but
I would assume so. Yeah.
I don't know how much they're putting into the complexity of the game.
Right.
But I mean, even if there isn't much, even if it's just like a straight up story with some cool side stuff and everything,
Hmm.
I'm more than happy to spend 20 plus hours on this game at
Legit.
launch.
Legit.
So Spider-Man, Miles Morales, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Check it out.
Big hell yeah out of five.
That's right.
So happy.
Go watch the gameplay trailer if you haven't, and if you have, let us know in the comments what you thought of Miles Morales, Like, what do you think of the game?
Oh.
Are you excited to play it? Are you gonna get it at launch? Are you gonna watch somebody play it at
Are
launch?
you gonna watch us play it at launch? Well, I mean,
Mm.
that depends.
Are
That
we gonna get it at launch?
that's a big depends, maybe.
Stay tuned.
No promises.
No
No,
promise.
no, we didn't promise it. Don't take this out of context.
Oh, I said. Um, the so moving on to the next one. The
Yeah.
next one I want to talk about because I feel like you as a big fan, you as a fan in general,
Yeah.
probably might. The Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this caught me off guard a little bit. And it's funny, I go back to watching this with my girlfriend. We were both watching this, and it started up, and we're both like, "What is this?" And then what caught me was it shows like the logos of the studios, but it showed the Wizarding World logo. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh shit, this is Harry Potter!" And my girlfriend's like, "What?" She's like, "What?" And we're watching this, and it's like, "Oh my god!" And yeah, it's they don't show a whole lot, but what they do show is interesting, and it shows that this is taking place at Hogwarts, but it's taking place in like
1800.
1800s, which is not something that has been currently touched by.
Like not even the Fantastic Beast movies went that
No,
far
and that
back.
was the thing that's actually what my girlfriend had asked. She had said, "Is this like Fantastic Beasts?" But I said, "No, Fantastic Beasts takes place in the like the 20s and 30s area. Like
Mhm.
this is way before that." And so, um,
Way before like 200 years.
no, this is it's interesting, and I again, it doesn't show a whole lot, but it shows like wizardy stuff happening, and
But that's the thing. That's what makes it crazy is because it's the 1800s, but they're in school doing magic in the robes and
yeah,
everything. It looks like the traditions have stayed the same
yeah,
for over 200 years. Like it looks like current Hogwarts kind of thing.
yeah.
Obviously pre Deathly Hollows, but you know what I mean. Like, and it's just cool because it makes you think like, oh, this has all been happening
Right.
Like we've known the school's been around for this long, but seeing it like do that,
Yeah.
and the fact that this is going to be more of like an open exploration sort
Which
of.
is which is what it seems like. I mean, like that's the thing. It doesn't show a lot, but it does show enough to where it's like you kind of question it. It's like the first thing I thought of is like, okay, so are we making our own little wizard guy?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
I think this is part of. There were leaks a while back that they were developing a single player open world RPG for Harry Potter.
yeah. I
Um,
remember hearing a rumor about that, but I had just completely forgotten about it.
so obviously I don't know if it's confirmed, but I'm thinking this is that because it shows off, that you're making your legacy, your
Right.
wizard. You're seeing how it all happened, and uh, that's cool because this actually seems like a high quality Harry Potter game and not just, here's the movie version of a game.
And I mean, like, I guess we'll see. I mean, this is just like a pre-rendered cinematic thing, but you know, what it does show is enough to be interested. I mean, like, and here's the thing, like, as a Harry Potter fan, Harry Potter's in a really weird spot right now where it's like not a lot is happening, but then there is stuff that's happened, like the Fantastic Beast movies, and it's not great. And don't get me started with J.K. Rowling stuff, but
That's
that's a whole other thing. But as a Harry Potter fan, it's like, okay, like there's not a lot going on, and but then this got announced, and it's like this is interesting.
Mhm.
Like this is actually like I don't know what this will end up being, but I'm interested. I would like to see where this goes,
Yeah, I'm hyped.
and I mean, I didn't expect this, and so for this to suddenly come up, it was just like, whoa,
Oh yeah, when it
this
popped up, I was caught off guard. I was like,
this I think this one was the most unexpected announcement,
"Mhm."
especially at this stream. Like the
Yeah,
last stream had like the big announcements, and so with this one, I was kind of like, okay, maybe there'll be like a couple and whatnot. But this one came out, I was like, whoa,
like
whoa,
it was, and I'm glad because there's a lot of cool stuff to do with the Harry Potter franchise
yeah,
as a whole, that doesn't have to revolve around the main cast of the movies and the
no.
main villain Voldemort and
It
everything
doesn't have to all be
and
tied
Grindelwald.
to exactly, and that's the thing that a lot of people I've seen talk about is like all if there's a world, why not explore that world, and so this is cool. And
Yeah,
I don't know where this is going to go or what this is going to finally look like, but
but I'm ready for
I'm excited for
it.
it.
I am
I'm very curious. Me and my girlfriend got very excited for this. We're very curious to
like
see where this
imagine
goes.
making your character, picking the house they go to, then you get to like customize like your wand that you
Dude,
get.
I'll be so
And
happy.
then like you get to pick like if you want an owl or like an animal or whatever
Yeah.
as like your companion thing,
Yeah.
and then like all the different things that happen based on your house that you pick, like
Mm,
like
interactions and
just more
whatnot.
like spiraling into like the possibilities. Like imagine it as an RPG. Like you have Slytherin style quests versus Gryffindor quests, and the way the quests
Dude,
are actually be different.
imagine being like a Hufflepuff and your quest is to not have everyone just bully the shit out of you every day. Oh man, that'd be interesting.
Quest:
No,
hide in the broom closet until closing hours, and then
Slytherin, and they all start just beating the shit out of you. Dude, imagine like Diagon Alley, like, oh, what that would look
you go
like.
shopping.
Right? Hell yeah.
Oh, see, brooms, like the more open, like
Yeah.
flying things that our current technology can actually do, and not like the Quidditch World Cup game on GameCube and PlayStation 2. That was like very Dragoon, very like flying, like Superman 64,
Uh-huh.
fly through the rings. It's like if you give the entire grounds to fly around, theoretically, this is unconfirmed, but it's like if you could fly around Hogwarts just for the hell of it, I feel like that you could spend a lot of hours just
I feel like
roaming,
people would absolutely buy the shit out of that. Hell yeah.
just walk around Hogwarts, explore, fly around.
Dude, I mean that was like the whole reason why I wanted to go to like Universal Studios. I just wanted to go to the Harry Potter world. I wanted to see what they had, and then I went and I was like, yo, this is pretty dope.
Yeah, I've never
Now imagine
been.
it as a video game. Hell yeah.
right? So that's super cool. So like obviously you can tell we're super excited about it.
I mean, like,
Um,
yeah, excited, interested for sure.
yeah, and we're ready for more news. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
hopefully in somewhat the near future. Like,
yeah, I mean they've already shown what this was, and it wasn't like cinematic quality. This looked
yeah,
like in-engine video.
yeah,
So it wasn't like hyper stylized.
right,
Um, it was of course pre-rendered, but it seemed more natural than just a cinematic.
right.
So there's potential that they have more ready than we think.
Yeah, honestly, that's really cool.
Um, but I have my points. Was there a point specifically you wanted to touch on after Harry Potter?
Um, like, you mean just in general with the presentation?
Yeah.
No, I mean like whatever you got to offer, like we'll just go down that way.
Okay, well then we're gonna go step on over to everybody's favorite pizzeria returning. That's right.
Dude, hell yeah, 2014 back in action.
Hell yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's security breach. First off, the fact I I think we can all just take a second and just realize that Five Nights at Freddy's, what it was, this like very niche, very simple game,
Mhm.
is now being announced alongside AAA games.
It is.
This is a one.
This got announced and was in the same presentation as Spider-Man, as other games we're gonna
Other
talk
games we're gonna
about.
talk about.
Um
Um,
I'm gonna say this, okay, before I because I can roast this announcement. This is came so out of nowhere. I will say this is that I hope that the guy who made Five Nights, Scott
Scott.
Cawthon, right? That's his name, right? Scott Cawthon. And whoever else worked on this, I hope that they're really happy about this because they've come such a long way. I played the first game, and I will say that like when I like it was relatively still popular when I played the game,
Mm.
and yeah, for like an indie game, it was really neat. It was really scary. It was definitely jump scary, but
And it
uh,
was different at the time
it
when it
was
came out.
different.
No other games had this formula or play style. And then after it came out,
It was the trend set.
everybody
Everyone
was like, okay, okay, we'll make a game. But the
exactly.
thing is, the first, if not, I think all of them were just made by Scott. Like it was all his
I would
own
assume
by
so.
himself. Like he didn't have a team. It was him.
Yeah,
That's why it was so crazy. And he was just pumping out these games.
yeah,
Like sure, they were like a couple years apart, but it's the concept that he's putting out games by himself fast,
yeah.
considerably fast, considering how game development actually works and
And
all that.
considering how popular these games became for a while,
Mhm.
in yeah, I just wanted to clear that because I mean like I'll say this. I was very caught off guard by this announcement, and it was funny because me and my girlfriend had no idea what this was because the trailer itself is very vague at first, and we're just kind of like, "Whoa, what is this? What is this? Like, is this something new? Like, this looks really cool." And then it cuts to a shot panning back, and you just see the statue of Freddy Fazbear, the golden statue, and immediately I was like, "Oh no, is this Five Nights at And we started laughing just because it's like, really? Like, this game is still going?
Goddamn right, dude.
Like
This
people
game
are still
is
playing this.
Yeah, this game is so pop. It has such a hard following.
It's just it's bizarre because like
It's impressive to me.
it's really impressive. I will say this is like I think not as much now, but I definitely think there was a point where it was kind of being a little bit over like blown out of the box a little bit because there was like merchandise everywhere. I walk in a Hot Topic and there's plushies, there's little like all this stuff, and like it's like, oh my god, like this game like really went somewhere, didn't it? But I don't know, like maybe it's just because I wasn't following, but it felt like it went pretty quiet recently. Like I
Well, yeah,
think
because so several years ago, I think it was like three years ago, roughly. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it was roughly that much time. He came out with the Five Nights at Freddy's, the Pizzeria Simulator,
mhm,
and uh, it was free. You didn't have to pay for it like the rest of the games. This is like, here you go. This is the last Freddy Five Nights at Freddy's thing I'm gonna develop. This
Yeah.
is the end of the entire franchise. I'm happy you guys enjoyed it this whole time.
Yeah.
It was like a really uh happy, sweet send off, and he was just like, yeah, we're done. Hope you enjoy the game. That's why it's free, because you guys made this series possible and this game even what it was. But the thing is, the simulator was literally, it felt just like a mobile game simulator where you have like this frame of the interior of a pizzeria that's like all gone to shit, and you have to like piece it together with like dollars. So you have like a ball pit that has like four balls in it,
Mm-hmm.
and like you get like three balloons over in the corner, and you upgrade them over time. And then um animatronics are uh acquired through the back door, because they actually show up just mysteriously or outside the back door. And
Really?
it's all the animatronics from the other games, but
Okay.
they're really fucked up. And so you, as the player, simulating your pizzeria, you choose whether to salvage these and use them, like repair them and use them in your pizzeria.
Hmm.
And so this game basically was like that. And spoilers for anyone who hasn't finished that or cares to go do that story. Go ahead and leave now and come back in like 2 minutes. Um, Basically, what ended up happening is halfway through the game, little bits were coming out, and it was like, wait, these are the actual animatronics, and they start to kind of turn, and they start to do fucky shit again.
Really?
And then there's like quotes, and then there's mini games that you unlock in just like very discreetly, and there's secret ways to win some of these mini games that unlock other things. And basically what ended up happening is once you figured these things out, you actually unlocked the what the game really is, which is the finale to Five Nights at Freddy's. And so it was disguised as this simulation game, but really it was a real Five Nights at Freddy's game hidden in this game, that if you were able to figure it out, you know, you got this game. And then it had the ending, and that basically tied up the whole series. Like we found out the animatronics, what's going on with them. We found out about the main guy. We found out all these things, and it was really fucking cool. And then it ended, and it was like this big thank you at the end, and everything moved on. And then yeah, it got quiet after that because there weren't anything that was coming out. He wasn't doing anything as far as like new games, because that was the last one. So when they announced this was like groundbreaking, like, oh shit, why is there's another one?
There's more?
It was like this super cool for like those hardcore fans that are just like, no, you guys are gonna get another one. And
And I mean, like,
the
is he working on this one? Like, okay.
yeah, and this one looks visually so good.
That was the part that
Like,
got me too. That was the weird part, was that when you watch the trailer, it is not clear what this is.
mhm,
But then now that I look back at it, it's like, man, this is Five Nights. Like, are we? Because I mean, like the trailer, and I don't know if this is what it's going to reflect, but it looks like it's a big ass place. So I was thinking, like, are we like able to move around?
yeah,
Like, what?
that's so that's the thing. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like this very laser tag level area, because if you look as the camera pans out, there are platforms and bridges and
Yeah,
connections. And um the general consensus that people are getting, and I agree with, is that it's going to be you running around this place while the animatronics are also running around the place. And so you have
which
this,
I immediately hate the
I
idea of
know,
that.
I'm like, that is, it's like a horror game of Pac-Man.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, that's awesome. Like, I'm into it. Cool. I don't know what the story is going to be, but or the gameplay, but even at just that principle alone, I'm like, this is going to be a spooky game for a bit.
and it's like it's funny just because it's like I wouldn't have expected this to be announced, but it's also like, you know what? That's really cool that this game series has come this far, and I don't know. It's just like it
Yeah.
definitely threw me for a loop, but I'm like, you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad that they've come this way.
Yeah, for a game that started out as like a couple bucks on Steam is now literally a PlayStation exclusive. It's on PC, obviously, when it
Yeah,
comes out, but it's not going to be on the Switch or Xbox for like a year. I don't know if it's coming to the Switch, but at least the Xbox, they're like,
yeah,
it's going to be a year. Because literally Sony paid more money to get it as an exclusive. And if that doesn't tell you how far this franchise has come, I don't, I, then I don't know what to tell you, honestly. Because
honestly.
that is, it's an achievement.
No, it's crazy.
And like any other achievement, we're going to move on.
Nice segue.
Good. Nailed it. Uh, because the next one is a big one, and that's Resident Evil 8 Village,
Yes.
which, for the record, I remember telling you a while back that there was there was a rumor going around that Capcom was trying to quiet people calling Village Resident Evil 8 because
Yes,
they're
I
like
remember. Yeah,
it's not technically 8.
but but
But no, I know, and they highlighted the letters. But then they announce it as Resident Evil 8
yeah.
Village, and I'm like, was that just to throw people off?
And here's the thing, right? So we were talking about this, was that, oh, is it actually Resident Evil 8? But you know what? I watched this one, and then I watched the one that the announcement of it back in like the June whatever stream. And like they literally they have Village, and then they show just the glowing light VIII.
Mhm.
They literally make go out of their way to say 8. So
Yeah,
it's like that's my whole thing when I was talking to you. It's like, no, this is 8. Like, I don't like, if this isn't 8, then these guys are the stupidest people on the planet because they're literally advertising it as 8.
yeah. But they're like, it's technically Resident Evil Village. But
It's
whatever.
8.
Semantics. It's 8 now. They finally were like, all
Yeah.
right, guys, you got us. It's
Yeah.
8.
Knock that off.
And the first thing I noticed, aside from the awesome, like, little panovers, there was, it was called a gameplay trailer reveal, where like a little bit of it was the
I was
gameplay,
gonna say it
which
was
was
only
more
like
like the movement
mhm.
and showing it's going to be first person, like
Yeah.
7 was. Um, it's going to have that like smoothness and the transitions, and I think that was the gameplay,
Mhm.
quote unquote, that they were trying to get across
Right.
without showing like any of the actual spoilers. Um, but the one thing I noticed is that it cuts away to like this lady sitting on a couch and she's like narrating,
Mhm. The whole little
but
story.
yeah, but the thing is, she's referred to as Mia, which is the name of the
The girl
girlfriend from
from
7.
7.
And so there's nothing else they talk about in the trailer as far as like her or anything, but it's like the fact that she has the name is like, is this connecting to 7 also?
Well, that's the thing, is like, is the guy that we are, is that not the same guy as the one
Ethan?
who said? Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know yet. I mean, because that's the thing, and that's the thing that excites me the most is like because we've been getting like the remakes for Resident Evil, like 2 and 3 most recently,
Mm.
and I'm all for this, but I've been like, all right, where is the next Resident Evil? I want one to be
Yeah,
like
like
7.
7 was
I
so
love
cool.
7. 7 is so good.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy to see this. I'm so happy to see this game. I'm so happy to see that it's first person.
Yep.
It looks very like
Dark.
not it looks like it reminds me of like Bloodborne, just like the weird
It's like gothic
gothic,
horror.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
gothic horror kind of look, and I liked that. That was I love that about Bloodborne, was that gothic kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at this and it's like, this is interesting.
Yeah, like the fact that they're bringing werewolves and witches and all these things.
Seriously, like
Like
werewolves, like
I'm hoping at 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 the minimal that the werewolves kind of act like Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. It's
yeah.
sort of like you're kind of just doing your own thing, and the werewolves, like you hear the howling or you hear like them running through the trees or somewhere,
Mhm.
and you just know they're there and they can jump out at any time. But it sets that like the same way as like the footsteps of Mr. X in Resident Evil 2 when you're walking through a hallway and you hear his footsteps upstairs. and then you hear him coming down the stairs right next to you, and that panic that sets in.
Right.
That's kind of what I want the werewolves to be, because that's too crazy and cool of a concept to be like a boss fight by itself, or like a thing we see like very occasionally.
Right.
Um, but no, and the reveal started off with this SWAT team that was with Chris Redfield.
Right.
But the thing is that the team actually was talking to Chris like in a panic motion, like Chris, what are you doing?
Well,
Like
and then like Chris was doing the weird thing in the announcement trailer at the very end. So already it's like
so people are like,
questions.
yeah, like is he gonna be the new bad guy?
Well, and here's the
Like,
thing too is that I am not really that familiar with the other Resident Evil games. I am aware that Chris Redfield is a big character in these
he
games.
was the main character of 5.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm aware of him being in this, so it's kind of weird that like
but he was in the
he was in the DLC for 7, right?
DLC for 7, but he's been a player since 1.
Yeah,
Because he's literally like one of the first characters ever shown off to Resident Evil in general.
right.
Um, so he was there, and then 5, he was the main character, which it was when it was talked about and announced, everyone was like, "We're bringing Chris back." Hell yeah. But then he comes back as like a 4-ton tank with like an upper body the size of a truck, and he's just like fucking huge. And then there was the boss fight where he literally punched a boulder into pieces.
What the
It was a giant boulder, and like you had a quick time event because it was in a boss fight, and you're tapping like the button,
Yeah,
and Chris is just bare knuckle punching this boulder that's giant, and he's punching it, and it breaks apart, and it's like, okay,
sure.
like they've just roided out Chris completely.
Of course.
It was amazing, but also people, and I kind of agree, is like it was a bit much.
A little bit.
So when they brought him back in 7 to be, fucking normal, people were like, yes, they're kind of rebooting Chris. They're gonna try to,
Which okay, like
not leave 5 be the last time we see him as
because like 7 is chronological with the other games, right? Like 7 isn't just like a weird different timeline or anything like that.
no, it's chronological with the rest of the games.
Okay.
It takes place after the events of the other games.
Okay.
So, that's why it was so confusing at first, because people were like, whoa, the first thing we found out about 7, people were like, whoa, where does this take place? Like, what time? Where are we looking at here? Like, is this 4 after 4?
Yeah.
4 was really all people cared about. So
See, and then there's me. I'm like, this looks like a good game. I don't know the other games, but I like this one.
right, and
What is it from The Simpsons? Like the things for the other games. It's like I just think they're neat.
and it was neat. It was a great time. You and I touched on it a little bit back in the day.
Oh yeah,
I-
well, 7 is a whole thing for another day for sure.
yeah, but so Resident Evil 8 Village
Looks
badass.
it looks so good. I'm genuinely excited for this one. I
Yeah.
have been decently happy, like excited and happy to see the other Resident Evils, but
Mm.
to see this one coming and to see it being more close and similar to 7, it's
Mm.
just like finally, yes, finally,
It's a good
guys.
feeling of moving forward with the stories and building on the world and just more Resident Evil games in general.
Right.
Like it's great they remade those.
Oh yeah.
3 was like okay, but the point is that it looked good, and 2 was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Uh,
Resident Evil is in
s-
a good place right now, isn't it? Like
yeah. Resistance is kind of a cool experience.
was that the multiplayer?
That's the
thing?
multiplayer, like the one mastermind and the 4
Yeah, that
survivors.
one looked neat. We talked about doing
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, we were kind of tossing around the idea. We haven't committed to anything yet
Yeah,
about whether to do like a video or a discussion or anything on
discussion
that.
here.
But that's we don't want to harp on that for too long.
Right.
But
But
no,
anyways,
Resident Evil's in a good spot, and 8 only just builds the hype, and we're ready.
yeah.
And we are without a doubt playing it for the channel when we get a chance
Oh
to.
fuck yeah.
Like, oh my god, that game so good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Speaking about the unexpected, I don't think you know too much about it, but Oddworld.
Yeah, so they announced this in the June stream as well, and I remember this being one of those games where it's like I was very vaguely aware that this is like a sequel or something like that. I've never played whatever. Is this like a second game?
Third.
Third game. Okay. I have not played any other Oddworld game. I've never played an Oddworld game. But I know, was it Jackie that was really excited for this
Yeah,
one when this got announced?
So Jackie, part of our Core 4 gaming team,
Yeah.
he loves Oddworld.
Okay.
I mean, it was like several months ago. She was playing the old one she has on her laptop
Mhm.
on Steam, and she's playing it because she loves Oddworld. So when, uh, back when they first even announced that this was being a thing,
Yeah.
I was like, Jackie, there's a new Oddworld. She's like, I'm playing it.
Like, wasn't I over like when we're like you were showing off the stream, and then yeah, I remember that you were like, Jackie, they're making a new Oddworld. She like dropped everything, was like, let me see. But no, I don't have any ties with Oddworld. I will say though, the trailer that they showed at this stream was really cool.
Because it
Like,
was
that was,
trailer and gameplay. That was the
yeah,
thing.
and that was the thing, is the gameplay. Yeah, no, it looked really neat. It definitely looks like an older game. Not like graphically. I just mean like the way like you have
It's
like
like
all
a
the different
it's like a
people and
platformer.
like the platformer. It reminded me of something from back back in the day, a couple generations ago with the consoles.
Mm.
But I really like the look of it, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, man, I really hope that like it's easy for newcomers to get into, just because it's like I wouldn't mind taking a look at this game. Like, this
Yeah.
looks really neat, or at least just re-release the old games. I would love to take a look at that.
Yeah, and the development team actually said this was the largest game they've ever worked on.
Really,
So this is like, I mean, even for them, it's an achievement.
that's awesome.
Let alone the secret revival of a franchise that most had forgotten.
Well,
But
and it's
the fans never forgot.
I'm really glad to see it. I mean, their studio is what? Isn't it like Oddworld something or another? Like their
I'm gonna be
studio.
honest, I really forgot what the studio is called.
It was named like
Uh,
Oddworld Studios or something weird like that. No, but that's the thing. As soon I remember seeing it, I was like, Oddworld. That's a familiar name.
Now that's a name.
Oh no, it looks neat. I will say that.
Publishers Oddworld Inhabitants.
That was it. Inhabitants. But no, it looks really neat. I wouldn't mind taking a look at it when it comes out.
Oh yeah, I mean Jackie's already like the second she found out it was even happening, she's like, "I'm playing it. We're playing it for the channel. That's it."
I would
hands
love
down."
to see Jackie.
So
I would love to see her play the original. Like,
I know. So it's like, put a comment if you want to see the original Oddworlds
yeah,
before we break into the new one.
legit. Let's see it.
Let us know. That's a cool thing we could get into.
Are they on Steam or anything?
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, Jackie has them.
Perfect. There you go. We can
So,
do. It's
boom.
possible.
It's possible. Just let us know what you like.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that everybody likes, Final Fantasy,
Oh boy,
the games that just keep on giving.
another series that I know jack shit about. Oh
It's okay.
boy.
Every Final Fantasy series is a different series.
Yeah.
Every game is something new that no one knows anything about.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. So I was watching this with my girlfriend, and we were watching this stream, and literally the entire time we're both just like, "What is this?" And like, I think at one point she did say, "It's like, is this like Final Fantasy or something?" And I was like, "No, this isn't Final Fantasy." Like, because I was thinking it's like it's too like medieval looking, like it's all like cities and like other stuff, whatever. And then the title card came, it was like Final Fantasy 60. I was like, "Oh shit, it is Final Fantasy." Because I have not played. No, here's the one that I've played is the remake of 7, and I'm still playing that. So I didn't pick up on any of the. I look back at the trailer for 16, and everyone's like, "Oh, the theme comes on at this part." I got so hyped, and all this, and I was like, I didn't pick up on shit until the title card came up, and I was like, "Oh, okay." um, Yeah, no, so I don't have a lot of feelings with Final Fantasy, in general, not like bad things. I just mean like I don't have an attachment really, just because I've never, other than the remake of 7, and yeah, I guess if you want to count Kingdom Hearts, I've played a little bit of that, if you count that as Final Fantasy.
Kingdom Hearts on PS5.
That's all I have as far as anything.
Yeah.
So when this announcement came up, I was like, all right,
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, like even if you love Final Fantasy, like the most reaction is like this is really cool
yeah.
because I mean, yes, obviously big thing, no gameplay, how can you really build the hype?
Well, I mean, this
Because
is,
nowadays it's such a skeptical thing.
but I mean, especially Square Enix, like they did this with the 7 remake. They announced it, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And then it was like years and years.
Yeah, people lot of people I remember reading the comments on this trailer were like, can't wait to see this next in like 2030.
Yep.
Like, all right, guys, like we'll see you in 10 years when this is done.
Hmm.
But then some people were like, doesn't show any gameplay. So it's like it's cool. And that's the thing that Square Enix really does well is cinematics.
Yeah.
Their cinematics have always looked amazing. Like even looking back at like Kingdom Hearts 1, like the main cinematic for the game
Oh yeah.
is like it still looks good today.
The graphics for the actual game don't hold up great, but like the cinematics, it's strange how well they hold up.
I know, so like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Uh
And I mean, like
so
it's the same thing that I was saying for like the Harry Potter game. It's like it's a really cool, yeah, like a cinematic, but I mean, like, yeah, obviously it's hard to really go off of just like a cinematic. We don't know what the actual gameplay or what the actual game will end up looking like.
yeah,
And
and
I'm amazed that there's even a trailer for a new Final Fantasy, seeing as how we just got Final Fantasy VII remake,
that's
this year. So I was kind of like, whoa, whoa, wait a second.
that's kind of the
They're
thing.
moving fast a little bit here.
Or are they? Because the thing is, what we did is only get a cinematic.
That is
So it's
true.
like they had enough time to develop the cinematic, and they're like, this will tide them over for like 6 years. Then we'll show off like a gameplay demo,
Yeah.
and then we'll let them know it'll be another 6 years.
Because, like, how long did 15 take? I don't remember much about 15, like, the build up for that one.
Uh, well, realistically, Final Fantasy 14 was it was all right. It had a lot of issues
But I mean,
at
like,
launch because it's the online one. It's the MMO. Final
15?
Fantasy
Oh,
14.
14.
So they announced 14 and they're like, "Hey, we're going to try this MMORPG because 11 was the last one they did an MMO of
Right.
way back in the day." So they're like, "14, we're going to bring it back." And it was horrible. Everybody hated it.
We're gonna bring it back. Oh,
Oh,
shit.
no, they got roasted for this game to the point where they actually stopped it, like had took it offline, rebuilt the entire game. They redesigned the entire thing,
Hmm.
and now people are like, "It's amazing!" Like, wow. So
Wow.
it did a full turnaround,
Hmm.
which is amazing. But that's the thing. That's 14. So it has no ties to really any of the other games. But before that was 13, which I feel like has a strong popularity. I personally and trigger warning. I fucking hated those games. I really
I
did.
have not heard great things about 13. Was 13 the one that was like split into three parts or something?
Yes, it
Okay,
was the one with the main character being lightning, and it was like the lady with the pink hair. Um, like
because I mean that's the thing is like I have not heard great things about it, so I don't think your opinion is that like out of
well,
the norm.
I'll take my chances with the opinion,
Yeah.
but basically, sorry we're not talking more about 16, but really all there was a cinematic, and it was pretty cool. Go watch it for yourself because that's better than hearing our play-by-play
I
of
know.
what it looked like. Like, come on, go watch it after this podcast is
Right.
over. But no, 13, I just didn't care for it because like immediately out the gate, Lightning's attitude was just kind of just not. It didn't. I couldn't get into it. She was too like moody and mean. And I was like, okay, I don't really care about you, but maybe I'll like the side characters. And then the one side character, Snow, he was pretty cool. He was like this dude. He had like a beanie and a big jacket, and he used like, ice magic. And it was like he was a cool character, but, you know, it was all right. Uh, and the way the game played out, especially at the beginning, was very cinematic, like like actual cinematic movie,
Right.
and then it transitioned into combat. Finish the combat. Okay, you get to move a little bit. You get to walk around, but it like puts you in these places instead of like really opening you to the area at first. So it's very like you're here now, then you're gonna go here. You walk a little bit forward. Oh, battle, random battle,
Right.
because it's like the traditional way of like you don't see the enemies; they kind of just happen. Um, the combat was very boring. It wasn't very engaging or interesting to me.
Hmm.
Uh, and like I played 7 and I played 8 and I played 10. I love 10. 10 is awesome. 10 is amazing. 10 is what I wanted 13 to be,
Hmm.
but it was not. Uh, but anyway, not to get into that any further. I didn't get into the characters. I didn't really care about the story, like because it starts you in the story in the middle of everything happening,
Yeah.
sort of like everything's already gone to shit a little bit. So immediately I'm like trying to catch up while the game is pushing me forward, and I'm just having this like difficulty getting on the tracks. Um, but then I gave it enough time, and I just don't care. Like I don't. And then I tried 13-2, which takes place after the first game, but it's like you're playing as the sister of the main character, but the sister's gone missing. So you're missing, and your sister's looking for you. So you're playing a sequel as the missing sister, trying to get back to the sister.
Who
So
was the
that's
main character?
of the first game, which is like it's fine. It's like trying to return back home, find your family again. Simple concept. The problem is the combat was a little bit better, but the thing is, the main girl you played as, she had a crossbow, and that was your weapon the whole time. And there wasn't a whole lot of variety to me with it. So it
Mhm.
just kind of felt like every combat felt the same because it was the same thing and you have the same partner. And little things change, but it wasn't enough to make me be like, man, I love the story. And uh, then 13-3 happened, which is technically Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns, the return of the main character that I already didn't care for.
It's
And
just like
I'm not harping on it, but I'm just like this is how I genuinely felt because I was like 13 Lightning Returns. I'm like, well, cool. I was worried they'd bring back a good character to me, but I go into the game. They changed up the combat so it felt more like the 7 remake a little bit as far as like more action based, but it was still like restricted. It was still trying to do a turn based with more action input,
Mhm.
but anyway, man, I'm sorry. I'm trying to not spiral off on this,
I
but
know you're good. It's the
so
spiral offense.
okay, guys, we're gonna pop this thing back on. We're gonna do a pivot. We're gonna do a 180 kick flip. And we're
360-degree hot cooler spin.
hot cooler spin with a Kool-Aid. What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know.
All right, so we're bouncing back from that because that was a tangent. Uh, and we're gonna move on to Crash Bandicoot 4.
Dude, hell yeah.
Because not only do we already know it existed and we've seen some things about it, but they showed off gameplay.
No, honestly, and that's the thing is like, all right, so here's another series that I don't have much attachment to. But not like, but it hasn't like put me off or anything, kind of like Final Fantasy, because yeah, Final Fantasy is fucking complicated, whatever. Crash Bandicoot is interesting because like I didn't. we've talked about this before. I grew up with the Nintendo consoles and everything, so I never had a chance to play any of the Crash Bandicoot games. But they all looked really cool. When they came out with the Insane trilogy, I actually
Mhm.
really wanted to take a look at that. Um, I don't know why I didn't. I have the console now. But it looked really neat. And
Mhm.
yeah, when they announced four, I was like, oh shit, like that's actually really damn cool because yeah, they did a ton of like spin-offs and everything.
Yeah.
So the idea of them going back to the main like, timeline and story of everything is like that's really cool. But yeah, watching the gameplay of the new one, it's crazy because it's like they have like all the little like mechanics and like stopping time and everything. Like I was watching someone play it and it's just like this is neat.
It looks like it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like super into. I'm super into it. I'm totally looking forward to checking it out. Uh, and I hope that you check it out. You'll check it out with us.
Yeah,
You
honestly.
know.
I
Um,
I don't know if you'd ever want to take a look at like the Insane trilogy or anything
I'd
or
be
maybe
super down.
because I've never played it or
Well, the thing is,
anything.
Jackie likes Crash Bandicoot also. She actually has on her PlayStation 2, she has both of the Crash. She has Crash Tag Team Racing
Hmm.
and the other one I think it was like Tycoon, something like that.
Hmm.
It was another racing game, and we plugged in the PS2 the other day,
Really?
and because she bought new controllers off Amazon, and so we plugged them in, uh, and spoilers, we bought an adapter to play the PlayStation through HDMI.
Oh.
So we could technically record PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation 1 games now.
Oh.
But we were testing out the adapter with the Crash Tag Team Racing. And that game is chaotic. It reminds me of Mario Kart Double Dash.
That's what
It's
it
that same
yeah.
kind of concept, except a little bit different. Um, it's cool though. It was a
Which
fun time.
which one is the one that they remade for the PlayStation 4?
That was the oh geez, what was it? I think it
Because
was Team. Was
because
it Team Racing?
there was a racing game that they
Yeah,
did.
because I remember it was a thing. But uh, Team was it Team Racing Nitro Fueled? It
Oh,
was, yeah.
yes.
Crash Team Racing. Yeah, I was right. Okay, cool. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. That was the one released last year.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so those are always fun, especially in a time where it's not a lot of Mario Kart happening.
Nope. Nope,
So
not as of this recording,
no, but
and the recording before that, and the recording before that,
and the recording after this.
and the record yeah.
Yeah, but you know, that's okay because Crash has got you guys for
Yes.
racing.
No, and
And the story for the new game.
yes, so the new game looks really cool. I'm very curious to take a look as a person who's not played Crash.
Certainly. And let us know what you guys think of Crash in the new game, and what you think if you plan on checking it out
Yeah.
or anything like that, because that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Uh, Now you had brought it up back when it was announced, but I'm curious. The Deathloop, they showed off
Oh,
gameplay this time.
yes. Okay, let me clear this up real quick. I do want to make sure I have this right. Um, the people behind this game, Arcane Studios, they're the ones who did the Dishonored games, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure because that was the thing that also really got me was that um because I played Dishonored.
Mhm.
I loved the first Dishonored game. I never got a chance to play the second one, but I loved Dishonored. That was a really interesting game. Um and I remember when Deathloop was announced, and I remember hearing from somewhere, I was like, "Oh, these are the same guys that made it," and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh shit!" No, Deathloop looks really interesting, and it kind of reminds me of Dishonored. You see, he kind of has like because it's like a first person shooter, but he's also got like a couple like little gimmicks that he's doing.
Mhm.
Um, as far as not like spells, but like a couple little things like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, just like the style alone, like the trailers, both the announcement one and then this one here, have been super duper stylish. Like it's funny
Yeah.
because I watched the one from the June stream again, and you know what is it's funny. It reminded me a little bit of like Ape Out, where it used like that the hyper, like all the
Oh yeah,
colors,
I know what you
the
mean.
music, and everything.
Yeah, go watch Ape Out
Yeah,
after
go
this.
watch the Ape Out video. Took a lot to make that one,
Oh yeah,
a lot, but I really hope that that style reflects in the final game because like
yeah.
that is seriously what has caught my eye. I love the attitude of the trailers. I like the idea that it's like an island and this guy just has to kill everyone, but it's like he's trapped in the loop. Like I like it. I really like the look of this game, and it's like I can't emphasize just how much I'm hoping that the trailers reflect the final game because the trailers have so far have been really like something else. I
Yes.
really like the look of this game, and I'm happy that it's the people who did Dishonored. I mean the studio, obviously. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's the same individuals and whatnot, but really I'm really hoping this game looks turns out to be really good.
I know, it looks like it's gonna be. It's a cool different, kind of a different concept from what we get with most games
Yeah.
nowadays.
Especially first person shooters. Like I am always happy to get a first person shooter that is different
Mhm.
and is not something basic and boring or
Like a rehashed style, just kind of
not
colored
not just
differently.
rehashed, but just something that's plain and like doesn't do anything like just any other like military shooter or anything like that. Um, those aren't that exciting to me, especially when they are the same game that comes out every single year that we keep getting thrown. Those are never that fun, and so I like when things are unique and fun and stylish.
Though.
That's why I gravitated to something like Overwatch for a while, just because it was something different, something
Mhm.
like colorful, not colorful, but like unique to look
I mean, it
at.
was colorful.
It was very colorful,
It
and
is. I mean, still, but
Deathloop right now kind of looks like it could be something stylish and unique, and so that's what I'm really hoping for.
yeah, and kind of it's just like a slight reflect back on our first unofficial episode of the Spiral Offcast, the where we talked about Bethesda Studios
Ah,
and
yes,
Skyrim and Fallout.
yes,
Uh, Deathloop is um being published by Bethesda.
right. So this is the same way that like Dishonored was, like
Yeah,
Doom was as
Doom
well,
is,
right?
yeah,
It's where it's like it's published, but it's not made directly by Bethesda.
but they do have a history of interfering with their games. They do
Hmm.
have a history of being that publisher that will get in there and be like, no, don't do that, do this. So there is no proof of it yet, but there is,
The fear of it.
the fear that this will be like, a Fallout 76 or a BioWare
It better
uh
not. It better not. Oh my god.
situation, and it's like nobody wants it to. We're all into it. It's just
You
like
would think
we have to acknowledge that this is a possibility and hopefully realize that Bethesda can just like back the fuck off
you
and
would
let their
think
people
that
develop their game.
you would think that Bethesda by now would take a look at the internet, just a little glimpse of it, and realize, huh, people would like it if we just backed the fuck off for a second. Like, all
Yeah,
right,
I mean, look how it worked for EA.
yeah,
Like they backed off Battlefield or Battlefront.
Battlefront,
No, they fucked up Battlefield.
yeah,
But Battlefront, they backed off completely, and they're like, okay, we get it. People are mad about the thing. Go ahead and do it. And now people love Battlefront too.
yeah, it,
They didn't do anything with Jedi Fallen Order. They
which
didn't
is
touch that game,
surprising,
right? And they did make the statement. They're like, oh, people just don't want single player games or whatever
which was very much wrong.
because this game was what they were like. This isn't going to succeed. And then not only did they not touch the game, but it was a single player game and it took off and it exploded and everybody loved it.
Oh
And
yeah,
then EA's like, oh shit. So then when Squadrons is coming out soon, um, as of this recording, it's coming out soon. Um, with that, Bethesda, jeez, EA has again seems like they kind of leaving their hands off of it and just letting the developers do their thing. and it looks like they're trying to really make a high quality Starfighter game.
Which I mean, like, the state that Star Wars is in right now is a topic for another day.
Yeah,
But I think right now, a nice, not bullshit filled Star Wars game would be something nice right now.
yeah, and I
I
mean
think,
we have three,
yeah.
and it's just like Bethesda. Do you not see how EA has done it, and by staying the fuck out of it, things are going good?
Well, seriously,
It's
and
like
then
maybe
it's
you should kind of do the same thing.
seriously, and I mean, especially with how Deathloop looks, it's like if I find out something about it being ruined because of that shit, it's like I'm gonna be real upset.
Like you can go spend $20 and get infinite loops or something. I don't know how.
Yeah, loops.
Loop. You have 10 loops and don't fruit your loops.
Yep,
Uh, but Deathloop looks cool.
Deathloop looks
Super
really
into it.
cool. Excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, excited to see more gameplay. Probably find out like a story, like more story
Yeah,
about like.
is that coming out like next year or
I believe so. Yeah, because
yeah?
it's been in pretty good development.
I haven't heard anything as far as a release date. If it was this year or next year,
As of the recording of this, I haven't caught a release date either.
yeah,
Just a year.
makes sense.
Um, but speaking of release, we have finally Demon Souls gameplay.
Ah, yes.
Demon Souls remake gameplay. Now, this was PlayStation 3 way back in the day.
Oh yeah, this was way back.
Way back, Demon Souls, so hard. It was it existed before Dark Souls. It was
Well,
what.
yeah, this was the Souls game
Yep.
to start it all.
Yep. And
Yeah,
it was hard. It took no prisoners. It put you into the ground right away and said, fucking deal with it. You paid money for this game.
yeah,
You're gonna get good at it. And then people just were like, it was a quiet game. Like it wasn't as big as like Dark Souls 2, 1,
yeah,
and 3, and Bloodborne. Like by that time the Souls games were like at such a popularity. With Demon Souls, it was like a very, very niche audience.
yeah. But it
Um,
definitely was the one that got the ball rolling.
yep, and now we're getting a fucking remake
And that's
for the
really cool.
PS5.
I'm not like a big Souls fan or anything, but seeing that announcement, it was like that's really cool. That was a really cool thing to see get announced, and get some sort of a spotlight. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, like all the designs look really cool. I like the some of the designs of like the monsters and whatnot.
Oh yeah, like
Um,
this weird gothic fantasy.
not gothic
Not
like Bloodborne, but like
yeah,
similar to what the Souls games would do.
yeah, like there. It's very more medieval.
Yeah,
Like I don't know exactly how to define the genre of like the style,
yeah,
but
very medieval,
it's medieval, but
like dark.
very dark. Yeah,
Yeah, no, and
that's what I can think of. And the gameplay is smooth.
yeah,
Like it is like, oh, this is running on a console.
no, it looks super cool. Honestly, I don't know if I'll end up getting this game, but I am happy with the fact that it does exist, and
Yeah,
I'm happy for the fans of the game. I'm happy for the fans of the Souls games that didn't get a chance to maybe play this game.
yeah,
You know?
and like the last thing they got to really play was Sekiro,
Yeah,
and that was a very niche audience, even for the Souls games themselves.
yeah. I
So
played that game.
me too. I
Yeah,
love it, but man, is it
I
hard.
I appreciate it for
It's
sure. It's a very specific play style for sure.
it is. It's different, and so I think this coming out is gonna kind of re collect the fans back under one game that they
Yeah,
love. Um, and you know, Bloodborne, the fact that there are rumors of that coming to PC
yeah.
is just gonna increase the Souls popularity more.
Well, yeah, Bloodborne took off like when that came out.
Yeah.
Like I have a copy of it. only scratched the surface of it. I'm not gonna lie. I actually was wanting to get back to it.
Well, we could always do a gameplay of it because I have gone through that game so many times.
Yeah,
Beginning, I think I'm on like new game plus 10, something like that.
right.
It's just so fun. It's addictive.
I can imagine.
But we'll put a comment down below if you want to see Danny play Bloodborne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe,
Well,
maybe I'm willing.
put a comment down below if you want me to make Danny play Bloodborne on the
Just
channel. Guess what, Danny? We're playing Super Mario Galaxy. Really? No, it's Bloodborne.
I would be sad if you did that to me.
I know that would be cruel. I would never do such a thing. It's so terrible.
Uh,
But speaking of terrible, and something that you kind of touched on earlier about a game that comes out every year, Call of Duty.
oh shit! Everyone's favorite piece of shit game. Hell yeah!
Yeah, just go.
Oh man, the possibilities are endless with this creative franchise.
I know.
This franchise that has endless ideas,
So,
right?
sorry if you
Whoa.
Call of Duty fans are upset, but
Man shoots other man in crazy war situation. Oh man.
this is not just any war. In the past, we've gone to the future. We've gone to the current.
We've gone into the far future. We've gone to World War II.
That's right.
Oh,
But now we're mixing it up a little bit. You know what temperature it is outside?
It's-
98 degrees,
I was gonna say,
which
it's
is the
hot.
opposite of what this war was. This was
Oh
the
man,
Cold War.
the Cold. Hell yeah! Have they not done the Cold War by this point?
No, they haven't. And that is honestly, out of all of the games that Call of Duty has had, it's kind of surprising.
I know.
Like, wow, right? Crazy. They're doing the Cold War, which is,
Yeah.
at least they're doing something different.
But at the same time, it's very much
It's
not different. They showed like the gameplay for it, and it's like, yep, it's Call of Duty, all right. It's
Yeah, and
the,
you know the real thing is that most people are gonna buy it just for the multiplayer. Nobody's gonna buy this for the campaign,
yep.
even though they push the campaign, but really just the fan base just likes the competitive nature of multiplayer. So there's probably gonna be a chance where this kind of happens like Modern Warfare, the remake of that or like the reboot, I guess
Yeah,
that came out recently. They had like the battle royale mode that was separate.
they're separate. Yeah,
But the multiplayer for it, they actually said like they kind of want to keep Call of Duty centralized on one singular multiplayer at any time. So when they remade Modern Warfare 2, the remake of that game, they didn't bring back the multiplayer.
I remember that they only
Even
did
though
release the story.
People wanted the multiplayer. They're like, give it. We want the campaign too, but the multiplayer was where it was at. And they were
Just
like,
release the whole game.
we don't want to do that because we don't want it to be confusing, and we don't want to kind of split our player base between multiple multiplayers. Like if everyone's playing the current Modern Warfare, but then we release Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, everyone's gonna go to that. And
But
then
it's
no
a
one's-
yearly release thing. You already do that. Like
But
it's
it's the fact that there be multiple multiplayers existing at the same time. Um, and it would be split. Now, yes, it's currently
and it's all the
is,
same game.
but it's like they want to keep it centralized. This is their words.
Yeah,
I'm just
no, I get it.
so it's like, when the new game comes out, they kind of want their player base to migrate over to the new multiplayer every time.
Yeah,
They don't want to have to like be like, oh well, half of our players are over here on Infinite Warfare still, but we're trying to get them over here to Cold War multiplayer. Not that that's a thing, but
yeah,
that's the idea. So Call of Duty, put a like on the video if you like Call of Duty.
great.
Put a like on the
Cool.
video if you don't like Call of Duty. And we're gonna see in the comments section who likes Call of Duty and who doesn't.
Well, and here's the thing: if you like Call of Duty, that's cool. I
Yeah.
just think that it's a very not creative, not that interesting series. And I mean, like, I played Black Ops, I played a couple others, and I recently tried to play the Modern Warfare, the little separate multiplayer, because it was just free.
The battle royale, yeah.
Like, yeah, because and a couple of my friends, old friends from high school, wanted to play together, so I downloaded on my computer, and it was disgustingly oversized. And now it's like I want it off my computer.
100 gigs.
That's disgusting. And then I played it, and I'm like, "Yep, it's Call of Duty. I'm not having a good time. I want it off. I'm done."
Yep. And the reason, like, Call of Duty, if you like first person shooters, okay, cool. But the the issue is that it feels like you're constantly being resold the same game for $60 constantly.
It's the same game, and then it's also just like it feels just like it's the standard first person shooter. It's like, what do you think when you think of first person shooter? I think of being in the military for the shooter man, and you know teams, and it's like, yeah, that's Call of Duty.
Yeah, and
That's all it is.
they tried different with Infinite Warfare with like all the future tech and everything, but the fan base didn't like it. They were like, "No, we want to go more modern. Like we don't want the future stuff."
Yeah.
So they go modern, and it's like, if the fan base is happy, then that's fine because that's the goal. But there's such a limitation on using modern concept
Yeah.
because you can't really play with a lot of wiggle room. Like you're like, well, this isn't realistic right now, so we can't really make that.
Why do
thing.
you want a video game to be realistic? Isn't that the thing with a video game? Is that you
Well,
want to like,
they
be creative and like experiment? Like,
they want the real simulation.
then go into the military.
No,
Then
they don't
why
wanna
are you ruining?
die.
Why are you fucking taking over my video games with your? I want to be a soldier, but like, okay, like go
Yikes.
be a soldier then. But let me play my fun video
Oh my
games.
god.
Stop taking up my video game market.
But I mean, like the same problem exists with sports games, and some of the fan bases like they like the newer games, but most of the fans that I've seen when a new game comes out, they very openly recognize it's like, no, they really didn't develop anything different between
No,
this year and
yeah, and I
last
mean
year.
that it absolutely is the same issue too. I think I just have more of a gripe with Call of Duty because, yeah, like you said, a lot when sports games come out, there's a lot of fans that are very open saying that they didn't do anything. Call of Duty seems to just have a following that takes it.
Because people just love shooting people.
Yeah,
Not
but
not people, but you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
they just like playing first person shooters.
yeah. See,
So
this is like the sports thing. It's like, you know what, they made cool ones, like Mario Strikers, so they just got to do the same thing with Call of Duty. Make Mario of Duty, Call of Mario,
what, Mushroom Kingdom, like,
Mushroom Kingdom
conquers?
Warfare,
Can you
dude.
imagine Princess Peach with like an RPG on strapped to her
You know
back?
what? When they do that, then I'll buy it. I'll pre-order it. Hell yeah,
Just the entire, just all the war toads that are just screeching out there, like throwing, shooting nukes and
dude. Could you
tanks.
imagine? Like you have like Toads, and then you have like Goomba. Fucking Goomba Squad, Dry Bones, the
No, the
Koopas,
literal Goomba squad because it's in the military.
dude. You know what?
Wow.
You know what? I'll buy it at that point. Until then, Call of Duty sucks ass.
Savagery.
Give me something like that, or like it doesn't have to be Mario. It could be any other fun, friendly, whatever. Crash Bandicoot. I don't know if Crash Bandicoot has that
Oh
many
my god.
disposable characters, but you could do that. I would be much happy with that. And while you're at it, bring back Mario Strikers. That was a great game. Bring that Switch. Bring it for the Switch. Bring it back. Super Mario Strikers.
Super Mario Strikers 2020,
Bring
2021.
bring it back.
Whatever way it goes,
Do it. Bring it back.
bring it back.
Yes.
So now we get to the creme de la creme of this entire presentation,
Yes.
which was the announcement of the existence of the currently being developed God of War sequel to the PS4 God of War game. It's based in Nordic mythology.
We have so many like taglines for it. Yes, so they announced that the sequel is now officially in the works.
It's in the works, guys.
And
Woo!
not just officially in the works, they said that it's going to come out next year.
Yep.
Which I'll say this right now, I'm doubtful, just because it's like you can't just say that to me right now. You can't do this to me right now. You can't play me like that. I'm holding my doubt on that.
We're coming out with the God of War sequel in the first year of the console's life.
Like
You know,
that's insane.
yeah, which means if okay, just theorizing for a second, if they come out with it that early, do you think they're planning on another one in the same console cycle?
That depends. Because I
Because
mean, okay,
because technically God of War for the PS4 came out pretty late, very late,
it did.
realistically, in
It
the
came
PS4
out.
cycle.
It did. It would have come out what year 4? Because it would come out 2018. It's 2020 right now.
Mhm.
So console came out what 2014, right?
Yep.
So then yeah, year 4. It did come out pretty late.
Yeah, so it's
My thing is like it's just it hasn't been that long since God of War came out. That's the weird part. It's like wow, like obviously yes, we knew there was going to be a sequel obviously, but it's just like it's coming out pretty damn quickly. Like that's the cool part to me. And I mean like yeah, I loved the God of War game. I have not played the God of War games, but I knew of their existence. I played this one, and it's like this is insane. Like hell yeah, it was my second favorite game of the year. It would have been my first had Spider-Man not come out that same year.
and ironically both PlayStation exclusives.
Yes,
You know,
it was a big year for them.
go PlayStation.
But no, I was very excited to see this. I was very pumped when I saw the tagline under but at the
Yeah,
very end when it said Ragnarok is coming.
Yep, it
Already
reveals,
not the second game with Kratos being here and it's already Ragnarok. Like
Right,
damn
right.
it, Kratos.
he's got to prevent the world from being destroyed
Legit,
by breaking it himself.
honestly.
But no,
It's
that was cool. It was so awesome.
I mean, okay, they didn't show much other
Yes.
than the
They
obvious the
they
symbol.
showed like darkness, and then they started playing the soundtrack, and it was one of those, if you know the God of War soundtrack, you know the God of War
Oh,
soundtrack.
hell
Like you
yeah.
like specifically the PS4 God of War soundtrack.
Yes.
So they start playing it, and it was like, what? Because like there's nothing on the screen, and then it slowly starts painting the blue loop
Yep.
symbol that is the God of War icon, and it's blue, and then the runes light up on it, and then it's like this God of War.
No, honestly, I was watching this with my girlfriend. I didn't have the volume like all the way up on my computer, so I didn't hear the music right away. But it was when that loop started going up, when it was the blue paint, and then it started curving up. I was like, "No fucking way, no way!" And then it like went up, and then it started curving back down. I was like, "Oh my god!" And then yeah, then I started hearing the music, and I was like, "Oh."
It's like, yes, finally.
It has
Oh.
not been that long, but damn it.
So ready.
And I was thinking, because I was thinking, I was like, okay, it's gonna be like 2022 or some bullshit, and then it's like 2021. I was like, that's like next year. It's like
Yep.
you guys are really gonna come out with this like in the next year. Like at the very least, we'll get like a trailer or whatnot in the next year. Like
Yep.
I don't know. That's just
It feels
sound-
unbelievable.
it sounds too good. That's my thing. Is like, especially with this year, I'm feeling like I will be amazed if this game comes out next year.
I mean, when you think about it, Sony Santa Monica Studios realistically hadn't been putting out anything that much since then. Like
That's
when they
true.
finish the game and they go into like debug mode, they're developing the next game already.
That's
So
true.
so this game has been developed for at least 2 years already.
Which I mean, like,
Like yeah. So
that's. I mean, honestly, I'm
it's
just.
still a small window though.
It
but-
is. It really is. I mean, like, I'm really excited. I'm very curious just to
I
see.
mean, they probably made so much money off of God of War.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
from hardcore fans
So-
and newcomers.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like they were probably like, guys, go make the next one. Hurry, like get it
out
out.
now.
Whatever it costs.
I'm-
Make it happen.
I'm just so excited because I'm a huge fan of Norse mythology. So this game really did. It really did get that like sweet spot As far as I'm concerned with Norse mythology, that's really what sold it for me. As well as just the fact that I was like, oh, it's a God of War game, but I can technically play it without having played the other ones.
Yeah.
Which while they're at it, I still am holding hope that maybe we can get some sort of like a collection of the old games just so that I can take a look at those one day. But um, I'm very much happy that we have the one for the PlayStation 4 and a new one coming out rather soon.
Yep. And
So that was big.
you can play the God of War on the PS5
Yeah.
because it's all going to be compatible. It's all
Yes.
PlayStation announced during this event 99% of PlayStation 4's game library will be supported on the PS5.
Which I think is really
99% out of all of the games.
because like PlayStation 4 had some pretty damn good games this generation.
Yeah,
And
like-
I haven't even gotten to all of them.
Like you look at games like just the ones that come to mind, like Bloodborne, played on the PS5.
Infamous Second Son.
Infamous
pretty
Second
damn
Son.
good.
You're gonna have Dark Souls 3. You're gonna be
Yeah.
able to play that.
Spider-Man, God of War.
Spider-Man. Which oh yeah, I forgot to touch on that with Miles Morales. If you buy the deluxe edition or whatever, it comes with the remastered of the first game.
No fucking way.
Yeah, Miles Morales, it's gonna come with this specific edition comes with a remastered version of
For
Spider-Man.
PlayStation 5.
Yep, and Miles Morales.
Oh, that's awesome.
So so the people that didn't get it on PS4 can get both games, and it's the best of both worlds.
that's really cool.
But if you already own Spider-Man, while it won't be the remastered version, you can still put the disc in or download it and play the game. So either way, everybody kind of wins.
There you go.
And yeah, people were bummed out that they basically confirmed PS3 2 and 1 games aren't going to be playable
Yeah.
disc-wise. Disc-wise. Which was kind of a stretch anyway. It was like a hope, but it was like,
Yeah.
who knows? But the thing is, with like PlayStation Now and everything, you can play all the PS3, 2, and 1 games that they have on there through the PS5. If you want to pay for the subscription, if that's easier. Or if you just want to play those old games, spend like things like $10 a month. If anything, you get 1 month, just screw around with it.
See, and my thing is like I'd want to just because there's a lot of older games that like especially the PlayStation 2 era. I didn't even get to touch any of these games. What was it? Like the Ratchet and Clank games or some games that I would love to take a look at. What else was there? Crash Bandicoot, obviously. There's a bunch of others I'm just not thinking right now. But PlayStation 3, Infamous, like I would love to take a look at those games again.
I have those games on my PS3 that sits just over here to our side.
Does it really sit right there?
Yeah. And I have Infamous 1 and 2.
Because I had both of those games too. But my PlayStation 3 hasn't been plugged in a goddamn century.
It's okay because mine has been. And another thing, I have all of the things for those games purchased, including the really the infamous DLC that they created.
Was
And-
that the vampire one
Yes.
for 2? I remember I did not play it.
So good because instead of your lightning powers, you actually get turned into a vampire and you have vampire powers. And so you actually go around the city and you actually can feed on people to increase your power.
Yeah.
And you have these things and you have your melee weapon, which was the like that prong fork
Yeah.
that concentrates your electricity. In this DLC, it's actually a fucking stone stake
What
for
the
like
fuck?
vampire, and it's so cool.
See, I had access to this DLC and I never played
It's
it.
so good. No confirmation, but we could always play it for Halloween.
Dude, we should just play Infamous in general.
We could play Infamous in general.
Dude. Now that why am I just learning about this on the recording?
Just in, Danny has learned knowledge.
I have learned knowledge because we are always talking about like what we want to do for a channel. Now I know that the PlayStation 3 is just chilling right there.
Yeah, in my library.
And I have all my PlayStation 3 games as well.
Yeah,
like I can always
and-
bring some over.
Yeah, and
I have to dust them off.
my PS3, I halfway ended up becoming digital. For when I was in the Navy, I couldn't buy discs all the time,
Yeah,
so I just bought the games digitally.
digital.
I've spent like $700 on digital things for this thing,
I can imagine. Yeah.
and then I bought the PS4 and was like, well,
There we go.
moving on.
Moving on.
Just like we're gonna move on this conversation because the last big thing we want to touch on in this
It's kind of
episode
related to
8.
what we've been. It's kind of related to what we've been talking about.
Yeah, honestly, and that is the revolutionary change to PlayStation Plus for the PS5 era.
Yes. So, I mean, it's funny. So the PlayStation 4, we've had like, with the PlayStation Plus, you get like the couple like free games per month, which
Yep.
has been super great. This is how we got a lot of people into Fall Guys.
No,
This is how we
I mean,
also,
PlayStation Plus has been giving away free games since it launched on PS3,
yeah,
and like
I got into it in PlayStation 4, so that's why I say PlayStation 4. But
well, no, but I'm saying like it's been a long going thing they've been
yeah,
doing, and then for PS4, you know, you're just getting quality games
oh yeah,
constantly.
super good.
And yeah, like you said, Fall Guys, launch day of Fall Guys, they gave it away for free to everybody that had a PlayStation 4
Legit.
with PlayStation Plus. And it was they had an exclusive deal with PlayStation too.
Yeah,
So it was literally their exclusivity deal. They then just gave the game to everybody.
exactly. Yeah.
Of course the developer still got paid for every copy they redeemed. So that's how that works.
Yeah.
But it's just the concept that Sony did that. And so you have the entire world loving Fall Guys right now.
Yeah.
And so
Meanwhile, Gold has also given us like other really good games. I know they did Uncharted a little bit ago,
a couple months
a couple
ago.
months ago. I'm trying to think of what else, but anyways, so they've done this where they release a couple games every month. For the PlayStation 5, they are upping it to basically just a big ass like collection of
Yeah,
games.
so it's being called rebranded as the PlayStation Plus collection and not just PlayStation Plus. So they basically stated that the service is going to stay the same as it is now. They're not taking anything away from it. They're not changing it as far as like you're losing features. So you still get all the multiplayer and the free games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing that they're doing is they're actually adding a kind of like a small bucket of games that everybody who has PlayStation Plus collection can access and play as long as they have a subscription.
So kind of like the Game Pass
It's sort of their response, not response. It's sort of like their version of Game Pass, but without committing as a Game Pass.
yeah,
And they've defended it in the past, being like, realistically, the Game Pass, uh, on paper, it seems good, but majority of those older games, people just don't play as much.
right,
So the cost just doesn't line up with the demand.
right.
So that's why they haven't done a full Game Pass thing.
Well, and that's what I like about this is that it is attached with PlayStation Gold or PlayStation Plus. Like it's attached to like the other services when that come with it.
Yeah, so it's more like this is literally just a free bonus you're getting on top of the PlayStation Plus you're already paying for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead and read off those sick games that they're
Yeah,
giving away
which
at launch,
at
by the way.
launch.
At launch of the PS5, if you have PlayStation Plus and it'll upgrade to the PlayStation Plus collection.
Mhm.
You're gonna get these games for free to access whenever you want. And they are in alphabetical order, just to make it a little bit nice.
What?
Batman Arkham Knight.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
ooh,
Battlefield 1.
uh,
Bloodborne.
ooh.
I know, so now there's no excuse for you not to play it.
Never.
Days Gone.
All right.
So that's
Yeah.
nice. Detroit Become Human.
That's actually a game that I've unironically wanted to play for a little bit.
Yeah, I have it because they gave it away on PlayStation Plus several
Wow.
months ago.
There we go.
So that's another game.
There you go.
Throw it on the list. Everyone's favorite, Fallout 4.
Hell yeah.
If we didn't destroy that game enough in the early days of this podcast, do you want us to play Fallout 4?
No.
Final Fantasy 15.
Wow.
Yeah. God of War.
Oh, there we go.
Quality. So just taking a moment for this one. They just announced the sequel, and now anyone that has PlayStation Plus has a free, easy way to just play
Free
the
copy of
story.
yeah.
They just play the story and they get to play the sequel. Like it is literally the easiest way for you to get into the game right now
There you go.
because there once
It's right
this
there.
it's beautiful. Infamous Second Son. Uh and this big one, Monster Hunter World. So
Nice.
for everybody who's wanted to play Monster Hunter but doesn't want to drop, $60 or $30 or however much it's going for still,
Hmm.
um, or have just been curious about Monster Hunter, you get the
There it
play it
is.
for free just to
It's
mess
right there.
around.
I
I,
personally have been curious. I've not played it, but I'm curious.
I love it. I've sunk like 70 hours into that game. I haven't played it in a while,
Yeah.
but I dropped a lot of hours and it was so fun. I regret nothing.
There you go.
Mortal Kombat X.
Ah, there you
Yo.
go.
Um, Now it's not 11. It's not Mortal Kombat
But it's
11.
still Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, if you're
And
just like,
X was really good.
yeah, X gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Persona 5.
Oh, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
That
one.
that's a hot one.
Oh yeah, that's going on there for sure.
With the PS4 Ratchet and Clank,
That's one I wanted to check out,
the subtle movie tie-in
but
slash
actually was
independent.
good, I guess, right? You said it was good?
Yeah, because they gave it away on PlayStation Plus, and
Wow.
I ended up getting it and playing it, and I'm like, this is amazing. This is awesome. This is what a fun time to live. Resident Evil 7.
Hell yeah. There you
Yo.
go.
So
Mhm.
y'all ready for Resident Evil 8? Guess what?
Here's
You have
7.
7. So you are getting God of War and Resident Evil 7 ready to go into the sequels that are gonna show up, let
Exactly.
alone all these other games. So it's like, there you go, guys.
There you go.
And since we finished the the big game with the big boys that we climbed up and stabbed in the head a lot.
What? Oh, Shadow of the
There you
Colossus.
go.
That was the most confused that I have been on the podcast.
Shadow of the Colossus. We are getting. You're not getting Shadow of the Colossus. I want to clarify that you're not. You're not getting that game. But what you are getting is the Last Guardian.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick.
the,
I mean,
the
hopefully they'll bring Shadow of the Colossus back. Like that was a really good remake of the game.
I love how your follow up to the Last Guardian is. Man, I wish they brought this other game.
I'm not saying I wish. I'm just saying maybe they will. But that's cool.
Getting the Last of Us remastered.
That's
The,
cool.
the remastered
feel
version of the first game.
I feel bad that I just bought it a few weeks ago for $20 at GameStop, literally because I was curious about getting it, and now they announced it. Like, oh,
But that's okay because you can feel good that you supported the studio.
exactly.
Always support your studios. Speaking of studios, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End,
Nice.
the final Uncharted
Final
game,
Uncharted.
the last of Nathan Drake's story. Which got the weird complaint that I've heard is that the game was too long, which I feel like is a weird complaint nowadays,
I
especially
mean,
when
I guess
people.
it depends on how the story is structured. Like, if it's too long, as in like the story is really padded out, I can understand that. But I haven't played it. No, I haven't played any of the Uncharted games, and you know why? Is because I without sidetracking too far, when I originally got my PlayStation 3, it came with Uncharted 1 and 2, but that PlayStation 3 was broken or some shit like that. So we had to send that one back and get another one. And the other one didn't come with those two, but it came with
You sent the games back too?
it was the bundle. It was a bundle.
Yeah.
And it came with them, yeah. So we sent it back and we got the one with um no, the Infamous collection came with one of the controllers or something. I was gonna say Infamous, but it wasn't. It was no, it was Uncharted 3. So it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
even 1 or 2, it was 3. And
3 was good though.
I didn't have the other 2, so I didn't know what was happening.
2 was the best. But anyway, you know what though? Funny you should bring it up because my PS3, when I bought it, was a bundle and it came with Infamous 1 and 2 and
Wow.
Uncharted 1 and 2. I
That's an
got
amazing
I got
bundle.
all four games.
Wow.
Came free.
That's really
I
cool.
know. So, again, another excuse gone for why you can't play those games.
Exactly.
And you can watch them right here on the channel if we ever decide to
If
do
we
that.
do, yeah, no promises, but maybe.
Don't be coy, Danny.
That
And the last one, Until Dawn.
okay, that one's really cool.
That's good. You got the next one from those guys, the Dark Pictures.
Dark Pictures.
It's the Little Hope. Little Hope.
Oh yeah, Little
It's
Hope.
like the very nunnery church style, dark, twisted, scary, spooky story that comes
Ooh.
out. I believe October actually.
Does it really?
I believe so.
It makes
I
sense.
believe. I think it's like October 20th, something like that. Um, Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it comes out in that month.
Let's
Um,
find out.
da-da-da-da-da.
I'm fact checking it right now. What was it? Dark Pictures or Little Hope?
Little Hope.
Little
Fat.
Little Caesars.
No, stay out of here, Pizza Man. Or no.
Little Hope. October 30th.
Just in time for Halloween, and by just in time, I mean on Halloween.
It's the day before Halloween.
Ooh.
Ooh. But yeah,
So
so
yeah, so that's happening. That's
yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
So yeah, so you're getting Until Dawn, so you get a taste of what their game is,
And
what
Until
their
Dawn was a
style.
really interesting game when it came out.
It was actually
Honestly, if it if I feel like if it wasn't so like explored by this point, I feel like it'd be fun to play on the channel. But I think after a few years now, I think everyone has
seen the hell out of the
watched
game.
analysis of every ending and everything. Like even I know several like ways that the story can go, which is why I really like that game. It's
Yeah,
a really neat like
it's super cool.
yeah.
And so like you getting this with the PlayStation Plus collection, you get if you've never played any of their games, this is a great entry point and to understand the game style, uh, and get excited for Little Hope
Yeah.
if you actually get into it.
Yeah.
So that's like a really cool thing. So PlayStation came out the gate, guns blazing. They were like,
Well, they came out guns blazing back in June, and then this was the next big thing,
the guns are
and
still going.
guns still going. And you know what? Um,
Hell yeah,
it's really exciting, and
awesome.
you know, I'm really happy to be playing the PlayStation 4 right now, and then obviously going into this. This is really exciting, and so what's also exciting is that the console is still coming out this year. We know what's launching with the console. Like actual like launch games.
Mhm.
And it's a pretty solid lineup. You got the whole PlayStation Gold or PlayStation Plus collection. Is that what it is?
Yes,
Because Gold is the online.
Xbox, Xbox Gold, Xbox Live Gold,
Wait,
games with gold.
I thought PlayStation was also Gold.
What kind of fake PlayStation fan are
No,
you?
I asked this because I pay for it.
It's PlayStation Plus.
Okay, PlayStation Plus, whatever. Either way, you have the whole
Trust me, we're
collection.
credible.
We are. So you have all those games, the collection. On top of that, the launch titles, although there's only a few of them, they're all pretty damn strong. You've got Spider-Man Miles Morales, which already is like, there you go, there it is.
Yeah,
Demon Souls, that's also launching with it. Then you got two that weren't specified in this one, but were announced back in the June one. You have the Sackboy Big Adventure, which is
I'm ready for it.
the Little Big Planet spin-off, but is a platformer for Sackboy, which
Yep,
I think is super cool.
it's awesome.
And then the last one is this. I didn't see a lot of people talking about, but I'm personally really excited. It's this sort of like destruction derby sort of uh game. It's not. I don't think it was like a battle royale, but it was sort of like this multiplayer.
Are you talking about Bug Snacks?
Talking about bug snacks. No, actually, I'm surprised I didn't see bug snacks. I don't know. I don't know where bug snacks is at these days.
Oh, they snacking around, I'm sure.
Yeah,
They're
where is it?
biding their time.
But anyways, no, there was this one game. I'm gonna find the name of it. But it looked super cool, and it was sort of like this destruction derby using like race cars and whatnot. I'm going through this page because they announced it,
What?
or they had the name for it. I'm going. I'm fine. I'm looking for it. Give me a second. Oh, I found it. I found it. Destruction All Stars. That was it. It was it's honestly, I recommend looking up the trailer. It was back in the June stream.
Hmm.
But it looked super cool. It honestly looked really fun. But that's the fourth of the launch titles.
Yeah.
So
On top of the fact that you can play most of your PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation 5,
indeed,
so uh, you're kind of getting a lot right out of the gate.
it is, and I mean,
Um,
it's a lot right like with that bit, and then there's a lot more coming, which is really cool.
oh yeah, I mean, like one thing I thought of is, uh, because you have the games running on the PS5, it's like, what will Dreams be able to take advantage of on the PS5?
That'll be interesting.
Like the speed of the SSD and just the more processing power, the
Oh yeah,
more complicated levels you can come up with.
honestly.
Like, I don't know. As if the future is now.
Future's so bright.
It is. It's
Gotta
so
wear my
good.
shades.
Yeah. And so that concludes our beautiful roundup of the PlayStation
Yeah.
reveal show.
In conclusion, big hype,
Big
much
hype.
excitement. Both of us are really looking forward to it. We are interested to see what lies in the near future.
Yeah, for real. And what lies in your near future is another podcast.
But only if you subscribe to the channel.
That's right. Otherwise, you'll never know.
You'll never know.
How will you know? And will you
Yeah.
really be
What,
able
you gonna
to?
wait? You gonna wait for YouTube to recommend it in 3 years? Ha, psych.
Are you telling us you're going to start on episode 8 and then just disappear?
Wow, loser. Why don't you go and watch the other podcasts episodes? Because they're all really cool and we're all very welcoming for it.
Yeah, and we're always looking for podcast topics.
Yeah, so
So
why
let
don't
us
you can
know.
take a look, and while you're at it, take a look at our other gaming videos.
Yeah, we do a lot of games.
We do a lot of different
Sometimes too
ones,
many.
but a lot of them you never know what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll do like a hard story kind of driven game, and sometimes we'll do a crazy goofy multiplayer game. I don't know. Who knows?
That's right. And
Or spooky games. We
and
do those too.
we're always looking for new games. We're always trying to come up with cool new fun gameplays to show off for you guys.
Indeed.
And just like in this podcast, you might Danny has revealed his trap card being that he's never played Infamous and he's curious.
What do you mean never played Infamous? Do you mean Uncharted?
You've played Infamous 1 and 2?
Yes, I didn't. I said I didn't play the vampire thing.
All right. Just
Boy,
I'm fact checking.
spilling lies on this damn podcast. How dare you? I would never say lies about you on the podcast.
Wow. What was the name of the character from Infamous 1 and 2?
Cole.
Okay, I'm just checking. Joking. But no, Uncharted 1 and 2.
Uncharted 1 and 2 is what I have not played.
I know, maybe we'll dive into
That
that
we
one
could
day.
dive, we could dive into Infamous as well. I would love to do Infamous.
Yeah, just like
Uncharted as well.
Like Infamous in 2020, Uncharted in 2020. See, you know,
Yeah.
what's changed? I mean, 2020 is only a few months left, but
Yeah.
you know, hey, 21 can't be much worse.
21.
So
Yeah.
yeah, go check out our gaming videos. We got more to come. Halloween is right around the corner.
Halloween is the spooky time right around the corner.
That's right.
What have we got up our sleeves? Only one way to find out, right?
That's right. Just check it out.
Yeah.
Subscribe. That's how you'll know.
And while you're at it, hit the like and
Comment.
comment.
Say things.
Yes. Ring the bell button. Ring ring dinner bell. Ding-a-ling-ling. What's for dinner tonight? A lot of PlayStation.
A lot of PlayStation,
A
a
lot
full
of
course meal of
what's
PlayStation
what's for dinner tonight? Hype for future dinner.
for future dinner.
No, dinner tonight was making the schedule for dinners to come. And talking about maybe we'll have this tonight.
I don't know, but either way, I'm hungry. Please take the food out of the oven. It has been 4 years. We're ready. Please, we're hungry. Take it out. Set
Maybe
us
no,
free.
no promises.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh
no!
no.
What do we say? What? Where did this go?
I don't know.
Hit the bell. Hit the like.
You know, punch the subscribe, hit the bell, ring the thing, and dingling, and comment
Ring
below.
ring ding a ling ding.
Put a like in the comments and comment the like button for the subscribe.
Comment the like.
And don't forget, take out your trash.
Yes, trash day. It's trash day. It's trash day. It's not. Maybe it's not trash day. Maybe it's Wednesday.
Maybe it's Valentine's Day.
What are you doing? Watching us on Valentine's Day? Go tell your partner that they are special to you and that you treasure them.
You let them know that you finished a 2-hour podcast before you went to talk to them
Yeah.
about this. So
Wow.
yeah, wow. And while
Excuse-
while you're at it and she's lecturing you,
Or he,
or
they,
them, or everybody,
yeah.
whoever is lecturing you, let her know.
Let
him
them know.
I'm going through individually because it's the polite thing to do.
Okay.
Man, right? Let everybody know that while they're lecturing you to subscribe to the Core 4 gaming channel on YouTube.
Yo, you know what I just realized?
Tell them, hey, take a break from yelling at me and subscribe.
Dude, you know what? Is it your kid's birthday today? Oh man, dude, did you get them a gift? You need to go get them their gift. But before you do, make sure you hit the like button.
Because the best gift is for giving them a weekly subscription to Core 4
hit the
Gaming.
like and hit the subscribe, and next time we got your back. We'll get your next kid's birthday or whatever other milestone. But anyway,
Every milestone. It's going to
Anyway-
be just a hallway of stones.
anyways, I'm running out of things to say, so why don't we go ahead and say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Have a good one. Take care. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Stay safe. We'll
Stay
see you-
safe. Wash
we'll-
your hands.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.